Hello everybody and welcome back here to League Unlocked, to the wild off season in the West and the East. Doesn't really matter what region you're in. Even in the LPL they got moves. They got former world champions like Baolon leaving Invictus Gaming, and there were obviously RNG rumors that didn't end up coming true. But no region is safe here. The TCL, massive moves all around, super massive, the most dominant team. GBM, Snowflower, coaching staff gone, Royal Bandits, Broken Blade coming over to EU. Their mid laner heading over to EU as well. Broken Blade actually coming to NA, not EU. But all the regions, there's huge changes going around, and NA is no exception. They had some of the biggest changes pretty much right out of the gate because world champions are flocking over to the For Fun region because North America did better than Korea at 2018 Worlds, right? That's why they're doing it. There's no other reason. It's not because of the sunshine and fun attitude where you don't have to play 18 hours a day. It's just because we are a better region. So the question is, who has had the best offseason so far in North America, and who has improved their roster the most or made the best moves furthering their team from 2018? It comes down to a few teams who have made probably not only the biggest moves, but mostly the most moves that have gone through them. And we got to start with the defending champions, the two-time defending champions coming out of Team Liquid. We knew Steve would be busting out his wallet heading into a new era in the LCS. He already did it in 2018, 2019. He said, you know what, back-to-back LCS titles is not bad, but we couldn't get out of groups at Worlds, and our main weak points were, of course, in the bottom lane and the mid lane in Ole and Pobelter. So let's bring in a world champion and an all-pro mid laner from 2018. And with that, Liquid now has 3 first-team All-Pros from 2018 and a couple of world champions. That's a pretty darn good roster. The most interesting thing, of course, is they basically have 3 imports because Impact is now domestic, and Jensen will be a domestic player in 2019. So, I mean, maybe even Smithy or Doublelift get moved in the summer split because, you know, why run any NA players when you can just run a full import squad? It seems to be where the trend is heading, even though NA Cloud9 had 4 NA players and they were the best performing NA team at Worlds. But I digress. Who knows? But Liquid so far on paper a fantastic offseason. Obviously, Core JJ is going to be a big upgrade over Ole, even though Gen G had their struggles at Worlds 2018, and we know Liquid are looking at more than just winning a couple of LCS titles or winning anything in NA, although that's exactly what Jensen is looking to do because he's never claimed that title. But they're looking ahead to Worlds, and Pobelter was one player that just couldn't live up to the standard of playing against these premier mid laners, so you bring in Jensen, who's proven against them time and time again at Worlds. And Ole was a guy who struggled on the international stage, just dealing with the mental aspect and all the pressure that was around NA's top seed heading into these events. Well, Core JJ, it's a guy who's not afraid of any pressure because he's played in 2 World Finals, winning one of them. He's been part of that LCK gauntlet multiple times with their entire season on the line, heading into elimination pretty much every best of series, and they always qualify for Worlds. So on paper, some massive upgrades for Team Liquid, and I mean, coming into this, you'd probably already think they were the favorites coming into this entire split, even more so now at this point. So Liquid probably, I think you could argue, had the best offseason so far. But another team that's had a fantastic change so far has been 100 Thieves. They're ending to 2018. Obviously, there was some off-the-riff drama, some PR issues, and their not-so-solid showing at Worlds. People didn't even want them to play at the event because they thought TSM was better than them, but 100 Thieves deserved that right to play there, and they made some huge roster changes. I mean, they already came in as fan favorites with the likes of Nadeshot and Aframu on this squad. Obviously, the Cody Sun Rikara debacle, that's in the past now. 100 Thieves definitely making a change. And I would argue that 100 Thieves have already had a better offseason than Team Liquid purely because of that bottom lane. I think the upgrades, really Huhi over Ryu as well, are bigger gaps than what you've seen out of the changes in Liquid. Ole and Pobelter were still very solid players and better than the average LCS player in those roles. But Rikara and Cody Sun, I think bringing in Bang. you're talking about one of the 3 best AD carries of all time and a 2-time world champion coming onto your squad. That is such a massive upgrade for 100 Thieves, even if English is definitely going to be an issue for at least the first split. But he has 2 players that can help him deal with stuff in Ryu and someday helping him translate things, guys who have started learning English. And obviously Huhi's English is fantastic now. So much translation and communication help for Bang there. And Huhi is still a pretty massive upgrade over Ryu as well. 2018 CLG as a whole struggled, so you didn't really see the Huhi that we were seeing grow and develop, because on his in 2017, on that summer split, he was one of the top 3 mid laners in North America and really showcased that he had become a top tier talent in the scene. So I think if he gets back to that form, his distance between him and Ryu will be massive, and obviously it's pretty much guaranteed that the gap between Bang and either Rikara or Cody Sun will be so massive. So everyone is super excited about the changes for Team Liquid, as you should be, but I think that these changes for 100 Thieves are actually bigger upgrades, and I think overall a better offseason for 100 Thieves, because there were a lot of question marks with that squad. How are you going to get back to contending, because that bot lane is an absolute mess? But they managed to not only get a huge upgrade, but a massive fan favorite that's going to help grow their brand as well. And I'm pretty sure Bang is interested in growing his brand in North America as well. And there's already been some fire back and forth between Bang and Doublelift. Doublelift basically saying he's destroyed all these other bosses, and Sven, Sneaky, Piglet when they came over. Bang is next, but that is an entirely different level of raid boss to get through with all of the accolades that Bang has gotten throughout his career. And those 2 are probably the most noticeable huge changes, because they will contend for an NA LCS title. But I'm saying the best off-season moves so far in North America have to go to the Golden Guardians, because there's no way that this team is going to finish 10th place for a 3rd split in a row. They completely blow up this roster, basically, and for the better. This is a team that was on track to finish 10th place yet again. They only keep contracts and deftly, and bringing in Ole, obviously, he had his struggles on Team Liquid, but he's still one of the best supports in the NA LCS. Domestically, he proved that him and Doublelift were the best bottom lane in NA. And bringing in Haunter as well from TSM. I mean, these are proven guys with LCS titles under their belt. So bringing them in is only going to help the squad, and it's such a vast improvement over what they had last split. And if the Froggen rumors are true, he hasn't officially signed with them yet, but if they bring him in as well during that mid lane, I mean, having a fan base was one of the main issues Golden Guardians had last split, especially when High left the team. So not only is winning and actually being able to compete, I think that's a legitimate playoff squad heading into 2019, but you're also bringing back the fans and actually getting a following going, which is something nobody cared about the Guardians in 2018. With the likes of Ole, Froggen, and Haunter coming onto this squad, you're going to have a serious fan base that will follow this team. So even though they might not be contending for the LCS title, Golden Guardians have had the best offseason in North America so far. That's all the time today for League Unlocked. My name's Eric. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you on the other side.